Welcome back, Dice Masters fans. So we are entering the top 8 for Dice Masters World Championships. The judge is making sure they kind of understand the best of 3 and what other stuff sort of is going to go on and affect the rest of their day, including, of course, this match. So we see Isaac playing the Fabricate Bard team. That is probably no stranger to people who have been tuning in for the stream or competitive players. And on the flip side, we have Claud, and he is playing a different version than Patrick of the Vicious Struggle team. So going to be really interesting to see how this matchup kind of lines up, because it's not exactly like we saw the other. And there's the Red Dragon, which Patrick did not have on his team. So Chris is just trying. Chris, the judge, is trying to make sure that they're good with everything. So worth talking about the remainder of the top 8. So we have Marcelo currently is in first place at 4-0-1, and he'll be playing against Travis Henkeline, who is 3-1-1. And so Travis is kind of a utility mask team, and Marcelo, as you saw before, had that Bard team with Babs and Hulk and just a lot of little tricks. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup as well. But we wanted to make sure that we had a chance to feature some other players a little bit. So in second place, we've got Ben Kaplan, who you saw play against Marcelo in the previous round. And Ben is going to be playing against Carlos Lowe, and it's a Fabricate Bard team from Ben against a Bard Hulk Babs team very similar to that of Marcelo. Okay, so these guys are about to begin, so I'm going to pause on talking about the remainder of the top 8. Okay, so we see that Isaac is getting to go first, which has definitely demonstrated itself as an advantage. So he's going to go for a full reroll. Okay, so fields a sidekick, uses the Red Drag Global, putting Claud down at 19. And then he's going to buy a Vicious Struggle. So
he's going to play the minigame.
He's playing the minigame here. So what we mean by that is, in the previous match, we saw a strategy of trying to just play your own game as fast as possible. And that's definitely a strategy that if Isaac wanted, he could pursue. But instead, he's going to kind of deny some options to Claude and potentially just copy the strategy. Ooh, so seeing some definite reroll there. Bolt, Wild, 2 sidekicks. The sidekick's getting rerolled. And, okay, energy. So this is, so another Drag Global. So Isaac's going to be at 19. He's going to buy a Struggle. And he might resurrect and then ramp. Might resurrect and then use the Pressworks Global during Isaac's next turn. Nope, he's gonna just keep the energy open, keep his options open with Magic Missile, and potentially just Pressworks twice toward the end of Isaac's turn. Okay, so we've got a Sidekick, 2 Masks, and a Wild here. So for Isaac, this could mean any number of things, but it's likely that he's going to reroll that Sidekick. Here it comes.
I'm expecting he will be buying that other Struggle again.
Sidekick. Oh, wow. So Isaac's going to choose between grabbing the last Struggle and having a minor ramp, or
there's the Red Dragon.
Red Dragon Global. He's committing, so Claude's going to go to 18. And so now Claude's going to get to ramp twice here for 3 dice. And so then Isaac is going to not leave himself open to Elf Thief, but that's not a non-factor here because it's not on the team, and it's most certainly not on the bag as a result. So we see the roll here. Oh, okay, so I'm going to repeat the top 8 players while they kind of go through these motions here. So in first, we have Marcelo Terraza. In second, we have Ben Kaplan. In third, we have Guillermo Rodriguez, and his name is cut off, unfortunately for me. We have Isaac Villa. We've got Claude Newcomb. There's the 2 gentlemen playing this game. We've got Patrick Barley in 6th. We've got Carlos Lowe in 7th. And we've got Travis Henkeling in 8th. Okay.
So I have a question for you about team choice for Claude. Claude. So he's playing the Struggle team, and we saw Patrick's earlier. noticing one distinct difference. So Patrick had the first Avenger in order to protect himself from what Isaac has done here.
Yeah.
Claude's chosen not to do this. What are your thoughts on that?
This particular game might end so quickly that the first Avenger would not be a big help. But overall, I definitely appreciate the wisdom of bringing that character to the table. On the flip side, that's a great character to tech against this. And that's kind of the thing, that like anything that's good in this team is good against it. Okay, so Isaac's going to 18 from Red Dragon Global, buying a Magic Missile. So Magic Missile is just an efficient damage source, and Claude is happy to take advantage of it. Purchasing those kobolds is going to be a really great way for Claude to get access to energy, fist energy for the Luke Cage Global. So, okay, so 6 dice in Isaac's bag. I'd say that
there's one struggle.
One struggle. Okay, one struggle is pretty good because it's gonna mean some trouble for Claude.
It's all he really needs, just to slow down Claude a little bit.
Yeah.
And that means he can get it again next turn with that other one he bought.
Yeah, so he's going to struggle this turn, he's going to struggle next turn, and even though I believe that Claude is practically guaranteed to get his own struggle next turn, I think it's like 80% he's going to hit it, should be should be greatly in Isaac's favor at this point.
But he misses the struggle.
Ooh, okay. So he's still got some options, though, for sure. He just has enough energy at his disposal. So gonna be interesting to see what he chooses to purchase with that. He might just go the route of purchasing a Magic Missile to deny it.
Parallax call.
Claude. Oh, Parallax. That makes a lot of sense. So gonna re-roll one of his
sidekick, energy, and the
mask.
There it is. There's struggle.
Okay, so struggle.
And so for convenience, Isaac's leaving it up in the attack zone, so we're aware it's up and running.
We can be aware that the effect is currently at play. So what next? What next for Isaac? He's passing priority. Oh, so Claude's gonna Professor X twice, and he's got 5 dice in his use pile. 4. So Luke Cage for 1. Okay, so Isaac's got to kind of play a little careful here. That he needs to be sure he doesn't go too low on life in attempting to kill his opponent without failing to, because that's kind of the pitfall that some players have fallen into at this event.
However, with that struggle up, he does have that chance to do that damage if he wants to.
Yeah, he's going 2 for 1 on damage here is pretty efficient.
I'm actually curious to see if he attempts to use the ring global to swap that shield to something else.
Yeah.
Instead, goes for parallax.
Okay. Okay, so he's going to convert those energy over so he can be a little more effective in dealing that damage.
There was another Luke Cage global called.
Okay, so 14 to 16. Things could get kind of dicey for Claude here. You have to appreciate that even if Isaac saw this team earlier in the week, it'd be a little nerve-wracking to think, okay, I don't want to mess this up. This is the top 8 of Worlds.
Turn has been passed.
Okay, so now we're gonna. Okay, so were there? Oh, there were no dice in Claude's bag, and let's see what he's able to rip out of that bag. Okay, so he's got a kobold, which is what part of what he wants, and then he's got the struggle, and he's got the magic missile. Okay, so gonna be interesting to see where this roll takes him.
Sorry, how do you feel about the magic missile since struggle's up?
It's 2 for 2. I mean, if you're just trying to get the other guy to 0, it's part of what helps get you there. And as we saw last time, the 2 from the other stuff is going to happen before the vicious struggle has the chance to retaliate. And okay, so
struggle is now up on both sides.
yes, so struggle's up on both sides. So things are going to get a little dicey. That was not a pun about this being Dice Masters, I promise. So he's moving the dice on over and trying to figure out exactly where he'd like to take this line of play. Being the person who's down on life with the vicious struggle active, with 2 struggles active, is not the place you want to be.
No.
And so so we've got 2 struggles active, and he might just choose to try and do a bunch of damage here. Like, who knows? He's got to be a little concerned. Thankfully, vicious struggles don't create a loop. They don't look at their own damage for the retaliation effect. Okay, so
Claude hit himself with magic missile.
yeah, and so both players are going to take 2. Creative.
Oh, my mistake there.
Something else right there. And so those 2 sidekicks are not that exciting right now.
Does keep his bag thinner, though.
They keep his bag thinner, and hey, sometimes boring is better. So
I'm wondering if he'll wait till Isaac's turn to do any more damage on the hope that struggle doesn't come up. Although with parallax on the board, may not be worth.
Yeah, it might be his only line of play, though. There just simply might not be a different way to go about it. Okay, so got to be expecting that Isaac is going to ramp. And so Claude has kind of entered a... okay, there we go.
Yep, so there's Isaac PXGing.
So, the PXG that we've all come to know and love. And so now Claude, if he wanted to, could attack here, and both players would take 2.
Be an interesting choice, but then he'd just have more sidekicks in bag.
Yeah. It's I'm not saying it's simply the options open to him.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Okay, so
now it's Isaac's turn.
Now only 1 struggle is live.
But he now has
2
go
struggles.
in the bag,
2 come out. Yep. So now, Isaac's got really good odds here.
but both failed on the first roll.
Okay. So he's gonna have a second chance, and then he's gonna have parallax chances too.
Pretty sure if Isaac gets both up, he'll win here.
Pretty sure that is correct. Yes.
Both are up.
Both are live. So active. Okay. And Luke Cage time. Okay. Okay, so
now Isaac is currently talking out the math of it due to the fact that there are 3 struggles in play between the 2 sides and how Luke Cage works. This may take a moment for them to determine the math of it before he continues.
So Luke Cage firing off once. We'll do 1 to both.
There's a parallax.
It will do 2 extra to Claude and 1 extra to Isaac. And yeah, so after the first usage of Luke's kick, so
there's the first Luke Cage.
So Isaac goes to 12 and Claude goes to 9. Luke Cage global number 2. Claude is at 6, and Isaac is going to be at 10. Then Isaac goes to 8, and then he'll go to 6, and that'll be the end of the game. So that ends up being enough damage for the game there. So now they're going to set up for game 2, and because Claude lost his game, he's going to have the ability to choose to go first. So, gonna be interesting to see what happens in this game. So, one of the cards that we haven't seen a lot of this weekend is Mara, and Mara's Global was one of the things people were very excited about at the end of last year, because there were just so many strategies that involved one character attacking for an enormous amount of damage. Things like Patch, things like, in some communities, that Wasp that gets the bonus damage from the Global.
Well, and any Bard play, really.
Ant-Man. A lot of the Bard characters, though, come in small enough. But still, why not have it for that whole...
Once the boost occurs from Bard, that Mara becomes very powerful.
Yeah, the Mara can often start to hit people, yeah. But we saw with Marcelo's game earlier that, okay, I'll push with all those sidekicks. Oh, well, they're fours. Whoops, they're still enormous, though, to have a swarm of sidekicks like that.
So, as expected, Claude has bought into a Vicious Struggle and a Cobalt. Yep. Now Isaac has returned and grabbed a Vicious Struggle as well.
Okay, so both players at 19 because of Red Dragon Globals. One struggle remaining in the mix, and Claude will be able to buy his second of the 3 struggles.
Which means he has a much stronger position this time.
Yep. It would not be surprising for, both players just hit optimal rolls this game, and then we see Game 3 be a repeat of Game 1 for Isaac. That's a likely course of events.
Very likely, and there was a Red Dragon into that last struggle again.
Yep. Ring Global. Okay, so gonna get a wild.
Then he's going to use a Resurrection.
Oh, Resurrection. Yeah, I was like, Relentless Global, that's not here. Forgot that it's banned.
Yeah, so our players may be getting a little bit tired as there was a call to a non-existent Global.
It's a long day. It's a long weekend. And, perseverance and stamina are definitely part of the equation. So, kind of looking ahead, you figure... Elf Thief is going to be a pretty important buy for Isaac.
I'm not sure if he could do much at this point with it.
Yeah, I mean, it might not make a difference, but he wants to go after it because if he's able to weather the storm, it's going to mean that he's able to eliminate Claud's ramp, and he won't have enough ability to just further the game beyond that initial struggle push. Then again, he might not need it if he rolls enough dice, so we'll have to see what happens.
Here's Isaac's reroll.
Oh, that's a lot of wilds. Whoa.
Yeah. So what's actually going on here is Isaac's talking to Claude about how normally he would love this, but in a particular case, he actually wanted to see some sidekicks.
Probably wants to thin out his bag at least a little bit.
So at this point, Isaac has to go into a bit of his win con or that Elf Thief, like you mentioned.
Yeah, so it's either Bard or Elf Thief here, because if he's able to kind of take the Marcello tuck, it's going to end up being that, oh, I got a whole bunch of sidekicks thanks to Parallax. Let's go. Isaac is probably facing some mat that is very unfamiliar because of...
So here's the Ring Global.
Ring Global.
To get a sidekick.
Yep. It's like a mini polymorph. Yeah, it's a good point from Isaac. So let's see what line Isaac starts to pick. Because the sidekick is not helpful against the Vicious Struggle. The sidekick is good next turn for when he tries to make a Bard play. So you kind of imagine he's going to go for Bard just because of what he's done so far.
And there's the thief you called
There's
earlier.
the thief, okay. So the plan for Isaac is to thief next turn, buy a Bard, win the turn after. That's what I'm. And you know he could do it, but if the rolls go in favor of Claud, it's going to be really tough.
But if Isaac can get that position where he wants it and win going second against Struggle, that'll be a very amazing accomplishment.
Yeah. We saw Marcelo do it earlier. Okay. Yeah, so Claude has access to 2 kobolds for the sake of getting those fist energies, and that's really just wild as far as improving his likelihood of making the combo go off.
I expect we'll see him rerolling at least one of those kobolds.
Yeah, so he's going to want to do 6 damage via the Luke Cage Global and 12 damage via the Vicious Struggles.
He went for both kobolds.
Yeah. He could even probably have some other weird combo between attackers and the like.
So that would be an almost ideal roll for Claude. With 5 energy available to him.
5 energy and 3 characters. I guess he left the characters in the dice tower. Kind of a hint that he might want to reroll. No, he's gonna.
He may still go back to that as
he may still go back to Parallax then.
However, with no distraction on board. Although there is still 4 question marks, so Magic Missile could be used.
Yeah, so Magic Missile could be used to eliminate characters.
There's the Parallax call.
Okay.
Because he just needs 2 more energy.
2 more fists. So
there it is.
There it is. So let's make sure. Yeah, looks like Luke Cage Global. Okay. So Isaac's going to go to 15. Claude's going to lose 1, go to 18. He's going to do it a second time for another 3-in-1 combo, and so he's got it 6 times to drive himself to 13 and Isaac to 0 exactly.
And now we're going into game 3.
Now we're going into game 3, where Isaac will undoubtedly be choosing to go first.
So I'm curious to see if Claude can actually get the 3rd game. The only way I'm seeing it happen is if Isaac rolls at least 2 sidekicks, no bolts on his opening turn.
It could happen.
Very much could.
But with Parallax, it's worth going to 3 energy if you can try and get rid of those 2 sidekicks.
It's very true.
We talked about how sidekicks were an endangered species, and it turns out.
All right. So we're just going to see where Isaac's at this point. And there's the Isaac buy of Vicious Struggle using Dragon as expected. And then a Luke Cage Global right off the top. Now, he did that Luke Cage Global due to getting a little overexcited and not re-rolling a fist that he'd rolled initially. Good way to recover from sitting on that energy. There's Claude buying through Red Dragon, the Vicious Struggle.
Okay.
And now we're back to Isaac.
This is that things going ideally that we talked about. Yeah, so one Luke Cage plus 2 Red Dragons is 2 players at 18.
That's a lot of sidekicks.
Sidekicks.
Thankfully, Isaac does have a reroll.
He still has his reroll. And
It's a lot better.
gets no sidekicks, which is what he wants. I mean, at this stage of the game, it might be slightly better than a fist even, because a sidekick could be 1 damage. A fist is 1 damage to both of you.
Yep. So now all the struggles are gone.
Okay. Race to the struggle. I was probably thinking like, okay, what do I want to do for my ramp? Do I want to buy something else? And don't want to mess this up because this is my ticket to top 4 if I can get this game right.
So now there are some comments and jokes about odd buys between the two players.
Yeah.
Mostly involving buying each other's pieces.
Yeah. Because we've spoken about, and I'm sure Isaac has caught on to this, that teching Kobold is actually a really good strategy against this deck. But, Isaac didn't do that, so he's not left with that option. There's a slim list of 1-cost characters in Dice Masters, and whether it's a Morphing Jar or Kobold, you see them appear on the teams that need those energies.
Of course, Isaac also has the option to resurrect here with that shield.
He could resurrect, he could ring, a lot of nuanced plays for him to consider here. And he's, of course, trying to think about what Claud would do in his shoes and what he would do in Claud's, and goes pretty deep. Oh, he looks torn.
So he's trying to spend his shield for resurrection, but is just unsure that's really what he wants to do.
Oh, the sidekick.
Instead, to get a sidekick off Ring Global. There we go.
Yep. He's got 2 Professor... Oh, no, he's got 3 Professor X Globals remaining. He's Isaac's going all in on this next turn being his win turn.
Yep. Now we're up for Claud.
It's kind of strange when you line up this Vicious Struggle team compared to teams of similar concept in other games, because there's the live by the sword, die by the sword kind of aspect, but normally it doesn't apply where your opponent just takes the sword away from you and does it. So Claud has to be planning for what can he do to win the game if Isaac is unable to capitalize on his purchases next turn.
Especially after game 1, where this is feeling very similar.
And it's tough for it to not feel similar. Oh, Claud has called for doing something crazy. Buys Luke Cage.
No. Yes, he did. You're right.
So, if I recall correctly, Luke Cage has quite the ability for making sure that your opponent doesn't take advantage of his global. So, the exact text is, while Luke Cage is active the first time, each turn that you would take damage, prevent that damage unless your opponent pays 2 life.
This could very much help him at this point.
Could be helpful.
Especially without that Captain America protection, he has at least an option here. If he survives that long.
Is better than nothing.
Especially as Isaac has both struggles, so he could potentially do it here.
Yeah.
One's been rolled, so he'll be re-rolling the other. I expect he'll be re-rolling those sidekicks as well.
There just reaches a point where your odds are so favorable. Okay.
Still only one struggle.
Still only one struggle.
That will he parallax? I'm betting he will.
He's gonna parallax because he doesn't have enough fist energy to carry out the plan anyway.
There's the parallax.
So everything that's not a fist gets re-rolled.
So now they're just being reminded to roll that one sidekick separately, so that we can determine whether or not it stays.
Stays the field zone. It doesn't. Okay. So.
Still no struggle.
No struggle.
But more wild. And a new sidekick.
Yeah.
There's another test.
Okay, so another parallax. Sidekick. So sidekick is at least one-sided damage, but it's not as much damage. Whoa.
Still no struggle.
That
Will he try again?
I don't think he can afford to. Seems just too crazy. He can do enough damage to really cause problems for Claude, and that seems like it could be enough to cause heartache. And
Although if he still had that struggle, he could still win here. The math is there.
yeah, the math's okay.
Nope.
No, but I mean at least he can ramp with that mask.
It's very true. And he has the struggle to protect against Claude using his.
Yeah. But he's likely, but not guaranteed, to be able to struggle for the win on his next turn.
Although at the same time, since Claude has Luke Cage sitting in prep, Isaac's got to get that burn damage in while he can.
Yeah, because Claude can present some of it, but not all of it. So.
And there's another parallax call.
Oh no!
Still no.
I did not keep count on that, but that is a dramatic issue.
Well, that would be 6 failed rolls, given roll, reroll, 4 parallaxes.
Oh boy. Okay. Wow. Simply unlucky.
Guess that's what happens when you buy your opponent's dice.
Yeah.
Sometimes they protect you.
Sometimes your opponent's dice work for you, and sometimes they don't. I mean, on the flip side, Claude could go and do the same thing during his next turn.
It's very true.
Oh, like that'd be one for the books right there to see. 12 failed rolls of the action die. Ooh.
So I do expect at this point he'll use those 2 fists to at least get a couple of Luke Cages in.
Yeah, and when it comes to excuses, it's easy for people to say no, Johns. But let's face it, as far as bad luck goes,
he's
missing
trying
6
again.
consecutive rolls.
That's 7 times, and now has a shield.
Ooh.
Claude is now thanking his dice for not rolling for Isaac.
Yeah. Wow, he might spend 3 on a magic missile here.
I'm almost expecting yet another parallax at this point. He's gone so far down that rabbit hole.
Oh man, I'm just blown away. It's if you're sitting at home and you're not blown away by this, I don't even know what to think about that. Wow. Oh, so they're having some rules talk about where dice go and when and what the result of that might end up being. So you know that Isaac is definitely trying to reconsider his approach, but I'm not convinced he's out of it. It must feel bad to sit where he's sitting, but I'm not convinced he's out of it.
Isaac?
Yeah, no, I don't.
No.
I think Isaac is just probably overly pessimistic at this stage because missing 7 rolls in a row.
He's very much still in this game.
Oh yeah, but it's easy to get a little bit paranoid. Hey, yeah, there's his magic missile buy, and so struggle's active. He's gonna be able to ramp for 2 and have a really good shot at hitting some damaging action dice during his next turn. If he rolls the magic missile along with on the action phase, along with both struggles in the action phase, how we saw Claude do himself the damage last game, we're going to see that here too probably. That he's going to be able to convert that 1 roll into 4 damage.
6 under both struggles. Oh no, because he beat 2 to himself. My mistake.
And
struggle math gets complicated in head sometimes.
Struggle math is complex and strange, and thankfully not part of the screening process for your next job. So
true.
Okay, so the reroll.
Large reroll.
And
struggle is live.
Struggle is live.
So is Luke Cage.
Ooh, what face is he on? Is he going to be able to field him? I think so. But is he going to be able to field him and still do everything else he wants to do?
Possibly not, but it would still be worth it.
Oh yeah. Because Luke Cage is going to sit there as this big threat that if if Isaac fails to go live with struggle, he just gets it in the face.
We're on max face for Luke Cage, as he just paid 2 to get him there.
Okay. So that could be a potential 6 damage.
All right, so now Claude is just working out what his next move is.
So we're going to see something interesting here, because this is not a situation that's happened all day. I'd wager that in none of Claude's playtesting did he field Luke Cage on this team.
It's very unlikely.
Clearly out of the question. He didn't even bring 2 Luke Cage dice. He brought 1. He brought 2 Professor X. Sorry, there's 3. I didn't notice them. So okay, so he at least he does have the consideration of going to Luke.
Mind you, there's also 3 Mera dice and 2 Parallax dice.
Yeah, he's just, why not run those extra dice? Why
Spread
not?
it around.
Something goes really weird and kooky like this game, just give yourself the option. Okay, so
That's no struggle for Isaac. He didn't even draw one.
So no struggle for Isaac. He didn't draw one. Claude is unlikely to hit struggle during his next turn because he's not able to ramp.
It's very true.
So Isaac's gonna just do some stuff and get some ramp and try and do the struggle on his next turn.
As he should he'll likely get both at next turn.
He's overwhelmingly likely to hit both next turn. For how open and shut this might have seemed at the beginning of last turn, it isn't. It simply isn't. And Claude could find a way to get a little lucky and capitalize on it.
So what I'm expecting to see here is Isaac resurrecting and then sitting on those other 3 energy for Claude's turn. Does that make sense to you?
Makes sense to me. Yeah, because why
There's
not?
the resurrect,
So the
as
resurrect.
expected.
And he's gonna, thin out the bag. There's the magic missile die. So we see 6 sidekick dice showing. Ooh. So,
There's now a discussion as to whether or not there's damage prevention.
so no damage prevention. Isaac is gonna take a point. So now Claude takes a point and Isaac takes a point. Okay. So 2 out of his bag. Now he refills. He's unlikely to hit the struggle, but he could here. He doesn't have enough energy to win the game, I believe. And the roll. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see where this kind of goes. Yeah, so
Those
Mask Wild, 2 shield. Is it 2 shields or a shield? No,
2 shields, so I expect
shields.
he'll re-roll those.
Yeah, he might only reroll 1 and decide a resurrection.
It's very true. Looks like that's what he's doing, in fact.
In some instances, I think you reroll both and just kind of hope that you get your best result. Oh, okay,
As he does need to get
that
his
is
way
the best
back to his
result.
struggle.
He needs to get his way back to the struggle. He needs to get some ramp going in his favor. He's probably going to try and fire off not a magic missile, a Red Dragon Global this turn.
It's quite possible.
Yeah. So if he does, yeah, he can't push Luke Cage through, which is kind of unfortunate. Even if he magic missile the sidekicks away, he could push through for damage, but not enough.
There's a magic missile off of the Red Dragon ability.
Okay.
Now resurrection.
And so he's gonna get a die from the bag, which puts him more likely to have what he wants.
And priority to Isaac, and likely
So
turn after that.
Isaac's gonna probably do some ramping.
A weak PXG.
Yep.
Priorities returned.
Okay. Oh, that's a little weird. Pass, and
So we're back on priority for Claude.
And so that might be it for this turn then? Let's curious to see what the players are up to here. Oh, so Isaac has a weird option that if he fires off the Luke Cage Global, he would take 3 to Claude taking 1. And it seems.
There's a Luke Cage.
Yep. So we're gonna try and get a verification, I think, of the life totals, because I'm not sure what Isaac called as far as the play on that one, for whether he paid to deal the damage or not. So we've seen Isaac's roll here, and he's got 3 sidekicks.
So confirmed life is accurate.
Okay, so life is correct right now.
They are both struggles.
Okay, so not having done the math at this point, it appears to be in Isaac's realm of possibilities.
Sorry, and a magic missile.
Okay, so
this may be it here.
This could be it. I'm sure Isaac's going to work through the math to make sure that he parallaxes if he needs to. And he realized what we realized before about the missling yourself for bonus damage to your opponent.
As under struggle, doing that would cause 4 to Claude. Then there'd be 3 Luke Cages. Should do a fair bit as well.
Yeah, so three Luke Cages is going to be 9 damage. Missiles 4, and it leaves him 2 short. Isaac's going to have to pay life to get through Luke Cage, most likely, because it's not worth the energy to do it. This is one of the most bizarre situations, especially as the player who doesn't normally use Vicious Struggle.
There's the parallax call. I expect for the 2 sidekicks and the shield.
Oh, die
fell somewhere. However, due to the lovely table, it did not go off the edges.
It didn't go off the edge. That's not a possibility with the table from BoardGameTables.com. Okay, so Isaac uses his struggles. Okay, so Isaac does not pay 1 to prevent. So
they're just discussing how Luke Cage works.
Yep. So
Isaac pays the 2 life to negate.
He kind of counts through like, hey, I'm about to take 8. So Luke Cage Global. Luke Cage Global. Luke Cage Global. He's
That's
at 3.
9,
and then
12.
He magic missiles himself
Magic
to
missile.
finish off Claude.
That is game.
Yeah, and so that is pretty wild finish there. So really exciting to watch that happen. So I'm not sure how many other players in the top 8 have finished their games at this point. We're getting the right final life total for Isaac.
Yep.
So we're gonna see what's up before the top 4 of Dice Masters, and we may. I say may. We're not certain yet. We may switch over to do one of the HeroClix rounds from World Championships. In the meantime, we're going to let the chat know as soon as we kind of have a confirmation on that.